All right, so we are on part 2, how to retain customers in a tough economy. And we just were having a brief conversation before we started recording. Here's what I want to share. We're all going to lose customers from time to time. But in my mind, I don't want it to be because I haven't done my part. There's going to be times when people, for whatever reason, have to leave. I want to do such good customer care that when the timing is right, I will get them back on track. And so that should be our goal. Don't beat ourselves up when we do lose them, but let's do our part to really reduce that chance of anyone leaving, almost to the point they feel guilty to leave us. That's what I want them feeling. So let's jump in. I spent some time on Saturday just kind of studying, looking at information to collect a list of things. What does it take to retain those customers? Y'all, if you think of it, if I have a bathtub and I have the water just full blast going into the bathtub, so that is just an illustration. Let's just say I'm out there, I'm bringing on customer after customer. And so the faucet's just, the water's pulling, tons of new customers are coming in. But if I don't have the drain plugged up, what's happening? The customers are going out as quickly as they're coming in. And so that's what, if you have your PVC reports, and for those of you who are new, every month we get it, I call it our report card. It'll show at the very bottom how many customers you or your whole team have. And what we want to do is track that from month to month to ensure that we have the drain plugged. And as the new customers are coming in, we're not losing that many customers. And so looking at this retention, how well am I retaining the customers I'm getting? So here's kind of pulled from several different sources. Number one, it was saying provide a great service. So I want you, as I go through these, I want you to think through 1 to 10, 1 meaning, ooh, here's an area I need to focus on, or 10, I feel good about it. I have a system in place that it helps me do just this. So to provide a great service, I want you to think about, as I throw these out, I want you to think about things that you're doing right that you can contribute to the conversation when we're done here, or things that you're like, okay, I need some help. Give me some ideas in this area. So what are some ways that you provide great service? And I think one thing that's popping to my mind right now, I'm out and about, I'm talking to someone, we get talking about Juice Plus, and they're like, oh, I'd like to learn more about it. How long from the point that they say, I'd like to learn more about it, to the point you get information in their hand? How long what's the lag time there for you? We have boards now. You could do that right when you walk away. You could zip some information to them and begin that dripping process. So think about how well I'm doing from right off the bat. Am I giving them great service? Because what I'm doing is I'm setting them up for them to think, okay, this girl's on top of it. She's going to take care of me. That's what we want right off the bat to provide confidence. The next thing I was reading as I was collecting this data is make it personal. I absolutely love it. Brenda always says, you get me when you buy Juice Plus. I'm the plus in Juice Plus. Are you being the plus? And that plus is personalizing their order. Literally, I have this toothbrush. It's called Burst. I have loved this toothbrush. It has like charcoal bristles, and I feel like it really makes your teeth whiter. But I literally just canceled because I am so annoyed at them, because they just keep sending me the little toothbrush heads, and I'm not asking. I've told them 100 times, I don't want on the referral, because they just send them. I haven't gotten a shipment from them in a year, and suddenly I got charged $44 and I've got all these little toothbrush heads and my toothbrush broke. So how am I getting off on this? Making it personal. That thought just came to my mind that I've got to deal with that. It just annoys me. Let's be so intentional with them and take such good care of them that we literally, they know that we have their back. All right. And then that next point, which kind of follows into it, to stay in touch with them, that when we're connecting with them, we're reminding them about Juice Plus. And so how often are you staying in touch with your customers or those prospect customers? The next thing that was mentioned was offer rewards. And I'm going to toot Edie's horn here. And she was telling me she's really, really close to, and maybe Edie, you've already hit it by now. Maybe I need to promote you. But as of Friday, we were exchanging some text messages or talking one, and she made the comment that she had somebody who was going to order, I think maybe the Duo, and it was a close friend. So she said, I'm going to go ahead and get them the berry blend. What'd you say?
Yeah, you're right. The berries, I got her the berries.
Yeah. And you know what? She's given a reward out. Is it costing Edie money? Yes. But you know what Edie said? She and I got together. I'm bragging on you, Edie. And we ordered all these new, if you guys haven't looked at our promotional products, there's a lot of great stuff, and we ordered a bunch of stuff, and she and I are going to start hitting some medical offices. And she looked at me and she said, it's worth it. I want to invest back into my business. So a lot of times these little things you're doing, it may cost you money, but in the long run, it's going to have an impact. So how are you doing on that? Offering rewards. The next thing it talked about is celebrating your customers. And I want you guys, I hope you're jotting notes because I want to hear from you guys and what you're doing. But how do you celebrate those customers? You know, if you know that they have an anniversary, they have a birthday, their kid graduated, their kid got married. You guys, we underestimate what a simple phone call or a text will do for someone. How about giving back to the community? I'm going to brag on you guys' names are coming to my mind. So as people's names come to my mind, I'm going to brag on you. Anne and Rosie did a big event, and I want to hear about this in a little bit, ladies, this weekend in their community. And what does that do? It builds credibility. People know they've seen you in the community, and it builds credibility for who you are in Juice Plus. And that, I'm telling you, and I'm not going to say anymore because I'm going to let either Rosie or Ann say a few words about how that builds your business by being seen in the community. Another one is don't forget the little things, just simple little things that you can do for your customers that, you know, I always say a word of encouragement costs us absolutely nothing. And are we encouraging people when we see them making progress in their health? What can I say? What can I do to encourage them? The next thing that I kind of, as collecting this information, make it easy to do business with them. Bend over backwards. I loved many years ago, and I can't even remember the company. I heard this guy speak, and he was saying there's 2 rules when it comes to customer care. Number 1 is the customer is always right. Number 2 is refer back to number 1. And so I had a customer on Friday who, for whatever reason, their bank is withholding paying Juice Plus, and it's about to drive the 2 of us crazy. And I had a long conversation with her, and finally, and she's like, I don't know, my bank won't, every month I'm gonna have to call my bank and say it's okay to pay the Juice Plus. I've never had this happen. Sounds like maybe it's a small bank. And finally I said to her, if you want, I'll put it on my credit card and you can Venmo me. Do I want to deal with that? No, I don't. I'm going to try to get with Juice Plus and see if we can resolve it. But what was it? I wanted her to know I value her as my customer. And if that means her Venmoing me money, I'm up for it. That's how much I appreciate her business. So make it easy to do business with them. If there's a problem, resolve it, whatever it takes. Be a resource. I was with one of my customers a couple of weeks ago, and we got talking about hormones, and I was telling her about seed cycling and what I'd learned with that. And she called me or sent me a text and said, "Hey, Elaine, would you send me that article you were telling me about seed cycling? I want to start doing that." You know what? That's what we want. I've heard people say, "Well, I don't want people thinking, oh gosh, here's the Juice Plus lady." I want people to think that. I want people to know that I am your go-to. I am your resource. I don't always have the answer, but by gosh, I will do what I can to get the answer for you. I want to be your resource. Why is that? Is when they need help, who are they going to come to? And that's what we want. And then lastly, the last point that kept coming up when I was doing all this reading was thank them, thank them, thank them. Did you know you've been a customer now for 5 years, for 10 years? Here's a bag of Juice Plus Complete because I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You guys, it doesn't take a lot, but it does take consistency on all of these areas. And next week, we're going to talk about what does this maintenance process to do all these things look like. All right, so now I'm going to go to the next page, but I can't see everyone. But we're going to talk about each one of those points we just shared with ideas. And I want to hear from you guys, and hopefully you are jotting down ideas of things you do to help keep your customer retention. So we talked about providing great service, educating them. Are you educating? One of the things I do, and I'm going to scoot down here to this right here. If you don't know about this, every Monday, I print out a list. This is my customers whose orders are going out this week. I don't want to let one person's order ship out without talking to them first. Back to my toothbrush situation, I'm going to tell that story to 100 people. I'm so annoyed with that company. And guess what? I love their product, but their service is out of control. They have no one looking out for me. So are you looking out for your customers? Don't let those orders ship out. Every time I send a text or call them, I also have a video that I send out to everybody that week that whose order's shipping out. So it makes it easy. So if your order's shipping out, you're going to get some kind of text message. Or maybe, next Monday night, we've got our health transformation stories. Ellen's going to speak. Precious is going to speak. Edie's going to speak. They're going to share their health transformation stories. Well, why not do personal invitations to your people whose orders are about to ship out? Oh my goodness, I know you're going to want to hear my friends name the people who are speaking, share their stories and what Juice Plus has done for them. So what is that doing? We're educating them. They're going to know what Juice Plus can do. Keeping track of their orders, checking in with them. What else with this whole area of providing great service? Anybody got a story to share of what you do to provide great service for your customers? Just unmute yourself and share, because I can't see everyone.
Here's what I found.
Oh, Siri's trying to tell me her story.
I was going to just share when you said to keep it personal. One of my customers, I was reaching out to her about her order, and I'm like you, I usually try to find something like a video or an article. Sometimes it's a Juice Plus thing. Sometimes I love to put in even something from Dr. Greger or, an outside thing to reinforce what they're doing. But she had told me she's having knee replacement surgery, and so she was going to delay her order just a bit. She'd gotten behind, but I encouraged her to actually double up during this process, because I had heard someone who told me that their surgeon recommended that they take Juice Plus 6 weeks before surgery. So anyway, but just even following up on how her surgery went, letting her know I'm going to pray for her for success and a smooth recovery, but then also following up to ask. That's just one thing that came to mind. And then I had a guy coming to our Sunday school class. His wife had passed away in December. I don't know him super well, but I did know his wife. And I had shared Juice Plus before with them, but they didn't really ever order. And anyway, he just, asked how I was doing. And then he looked right at me and said, "Are you still doing that health thing?" He didn't even say Juice Plus. He didn't even know what it was called. And I mentioned, yes, this is a lifetime thing for us. I mean, Stephen and I it's just impossible. Even as an empty nester, we just do not have the time. We can't, get the number of servings, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, "Well, I might want to talk to you about that." And we said goodbye. And the next day, on Monday, I was like, I don't want too much time to go by. So when you had mentioned being quick with follow-up, I reached out to him Monday in a text and threw out about the Healthy Starts program because he has grandchildren. And so I said, if you're open to more information, and he said, "Yes, I am." And he gave me his email. Well, anyway, he ended up ordering last week, the trio, but it just was a reminder to me that the chances of him getting back with me had I not texted him were probably nil. He probably would have not even thought about it until I saw him again. So I do think quick follow-up is super important while it's fresh on their mind.
Those are some awesome illustrations, and Allison does extremely good customer care, and you can tell by her large customer base. One thing she mentioned that I would highly recommend, his name, she mentioned Dr. Greger. He has nutrition facts. He also has an app you can use. I recommend that to my customers all the time because it's a third-party validation. It is phenomenal resource. So thanks for bringing that up, Allison. A great way for us to really do good customer care. Karen.
Yeah, I just this morning, one of my customers that order is going out, I reached out to her and she's only on the trio, but I said, "Hi, Kelly, just want to let you know that your trio is due to ship on the 26th of this month. If that date is good, I will let it ship for you. Also, because you're a fellow lupus warrior, I wanted to share the Omega blends with you. I'm not sure if arthritis is part of your autoimmune story, but it's certainly part of mine. The Omegas help with my joint pain and swelling. Here's a little video on them." So I said that, and then she said, "Okay, I'll check it out." So
we may have to have a whole section of Karen's verbiage because Karen does an excellent job with verbiage. Thank you. There's a nut right there. And we didn't talk about that is recommending other products. We know the more products our customers are on, the more they're going to feel it. So love that, Karen. And I love your verbiage. Okay. So we talked about making it personal, sending birthday cards, thinking of you, just kind of what Karen just did. One thing, and I don't even know where I saw this, but they had a stamp that said "no charge." And I love that. And then they had a little note. So, simply sending a couple, maybe some of the sample bags of Complete and putting a little "no charge" stamp on your little note. I thought that was a cute idea, but thinking, just being creative, use your creative. I'm not a real creative person, so I appreciate the ideas. Staying in touch. We've got newsletters on our Team Extreme website, inviting them to the events. You know what? I don't worry whether or not people join us. What I do worry, am I inviting them? Because even sometimes more than them showing up is the fact that you thought of them and invited them. So use these events. Like I said, next Monday night, we're doing the stories of transformation. Who do you invite? Everyone. Email, send an email, send a text. And I think that alternating between different modalities of connection, I think really helps as well, because they really feel like you're pulling them into the Juice Plus community. Offering rewards. Anybody got any stories on giving away product or cash back or thank you gifts?
I have. Go ahead, Dale.
I was going to say, I was offering to the guy that helps me with my training at LA Fitness. We've been kind of talking about this now for months, and all of a sudden he's starting to sound interested. I mean, I've given him all kinds of stuff, and anyhow, I said, well, you know, if you go ahead and order at least the quad, because we were talking about the quad, I says, I'll give you the free samples of the complete bars and the shakes as
Nice,
a reward.
nice.
I haven't heard back from him yet, but we'll see how that goes.
I love it. Brenda, you're gonna say something. That's good, Dale. Good
It is,
thought.
that's really good. You know, just the whole line, I thought of you because there is always something, you know, a new video or whatever that you can in some way make a connection.
Yeah.
And also, you know, because I think like a first grader, because that's where, you know, those were my people all those years. I have postcards that I send out to, you know, birthday postcards that I send out to my children's health study people. And it's all, you know, just for kids to get a piece of mail is such a big deal. And I think loving on their kids in any way is always, I mean, I always get a response in one way or another when they get the card.
I forgot about those postcards for the kids. That's awesome, Brenda. Awesome idea. All right, the next one was to celebrate your customers, which that could fall into that category. You know, anytime someone loves on your kids, boy, they get put up a lot higher on the ladder, that's for sure. So ways to celebrate. Anybody want to share a way they celebrate their customers? You know, we talked about know them, their special events, you know, some discounts. Maybe when somebody, you know, that we track, because you can get that information off of your back office now, when they became a customer, when their first order was placed, so that you can, you know, send them a little gift or a discount when they've been at, you know, it's their anniversary. I think it's just being creative and thinking about our customers versus just signing them up and letting them go. We want customers for life. That's the goal. You know, that's where really, if we're wanting to build and grow a nice income stream, it is getting those customers that stay customers for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Karen, you're going to comment?
Yeah, as far as celebrating, I make every one of my customers friends on Facebook as well. So I kind of follow them through Facebook, and, you know, when they have weddings or birthdays or whatnot, or even when they talk about, oh, so-and-so's got the flu, and it's like, oh, we'll have them double up on their Juice Plus in the comments. And then people say, what's Juice Plus? And then that starts a whole nother conversation. So, you know, Facebook works really well.
I love that. I love that. That it makes it easier to celebrate them. The next thing was give back to your community. Ann, are you still on here? I can only see a few people. Ann or Rosie, you guys want to tell what you did this weekend and how it went?
I don't think either of them are still on.
Okay, you don't see them? Okay. They had
Oh, no, Rosie is. Rosie is. She's just.
Rosie, you want to share a little bit with us? Are you in a place you can?
Yes, I'll share. It was very, very busy. It was an art. Anne runs a very successful and nice art, I guess, an art show. And they have different vendors that are set up on the outside, and then on the inside, it's all outdoors, but there's an outside perimeter and an inside perimeter. And the inside perimeter where all the artists were, and on the outside perimeter was all the vendors. And I couldn't believe how many people that we came in contact with, how many people that I would see, because we were on the main street of Windermere, and how many people that I actually saw that I knew from church or just from the community, and they would turn around, park, and come in, whereas they probably would have just driven by. But since they saw somebody that they recognized, they came in. And there were people who stopped by the Juice Plus tent who had never really heard of Juice Plus, but they knew of Anne from her wellness center. They didn't know that she actually did Juice Plus, which I think is hard to believe, but they did. And so they were interested in there. I had got lots of people interested in the Tower Garden, ironically. So they wanted more information. So today, what I'm doing is sending out emails, videos, and just information in regards to Tower Gardens, and to a lot of people that some people wanted to order the gummies, you know, where they get for their grandchild and they have the gummies. They wanting to order that so that they could you know, have gummies for their grandchildren, but also want to order have the vitamins for themselves, because the fact that there's no sugar, there's no salt, and the benefits that having whole fruits when they don't get enough fruits and vegetables in their diet.
I love it, man. Sounds like you got a lot of great leads. And one thing Brenda's going to share at the end of this call about our all the new things that were shared with us on the leadership, our company leadership call. And one of them, Rosie, just to get back to you, is a new group. Whenever people buy the Tower Garden, you can invite them into a Facebook group that will really help them start the growing process off strong. So we'll make sure you hear about that. Thank you for sharing. So many things that I won't even try to unpack, as Rosie was talking about the value of giving back to the community, like Ann and Rosie did this weekend, and just the opportunities that open up. They are the go-to people now. So I love that. The next thing was, don't forget the little things. Let me see what time. I don't want to, we're almost out of time here. Make it easy to do business with you. And that's, you know, you're on top of their order. You're on top of their needs. You know what's going on, and you make it simple for them. You know, I don't even like people to go online and manage their own order. I want to do that for them. And I say that you can set up your own portal, but I am more than happy. I always use Brenda's line. I'm the plus in Juice Plus. Happy to do that. If you need more Juice Plus ahead of time, send me a text. And no, I won't let any of your orders go out without you knowing about it first and seeing if you're ready. You know, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible so that they never want to go off Juice Plus. And then be a resource. We want to be known as the Juice Plus people. So, you know, I want to be the one that they're looking for ideas and help and tips, that I'm there to help them on their health journey, not just sell them Juice Plus. And then lastly is, you know, we talked about appreciation goes a long way, and ways that we can thank them. So next week, we're going to talk about, since this is kind of the overview of what retaining those customers look like, next week, we're kind of going to drill down a little further. And we're going to say, how do we automate and maintain all of these activities so that it's just not here or there, but we consistently are doing that for each and every one of our customers. So stay tuned, part 3 next week. We're going to stop share. We're going to end the recording, and then